Hello world and welcome to Real Cooking at Home. My name is Mark and tonight we're doing some real cooking at home because it's just a quick, simple, delicious supper. Right here I have got a pork tenderloin and I've got some canola oil. If you've got vegetable oil, that's what you can use. But you just put a little bit of the vegetable oil or canola oil on your meat. Just a little bit on the top. And just give it a rub. Now you don't want to saturate this. You just want to get it all lubricated with this oil. Just like this. And that's perfect. Now a lot of people will take this skin cap off of the pork tenderloin. I don't like doing that because it's got a little layer of fat. It gets a little bit crispy. That fat melts down into the meat. I just think it's wonderful, so I would not dare take that off. So I'm going to give my hands a quick wash, and then we're going to put on some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of thyme. Okay, now before I move on to this pork tenderloin, I want to show you something. This is my pride and joy. These are my salt and pepper containers, and I actually made these on a potting wheel from a girl that comes to work and does pottery. So I was real excited about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and put some salt and pepper real generously on this little pork tenderloin here. Garlic powder. Fresh cracked black pepper, just like that. And now this is some crushed thyme that I put in my mortar and pestle. Just sprinkle the thyme over it, just like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil just to kind of wet everything up there and just rub that in real good like that. And you're not going to believe the thyme flavor that will go all through this pork tenderloin. Now I'm just going to flip it over, do the exact same thing on the other side, get it all worked in, and we'll come back and show you when it goes in the oven, and then we're moving on to a root vegetable that I think gets absolutely no love whatsoever. Tonight with this pork tenderloin, we are doing rutabagas, and I'll come back and we'll talk rutabaga in just a minute. Okay, I've got my pork tenderloin in my roasting pan on my rack. And I've got my meat thermometer here inserted right in the center of that tenderloin. And I've got my thermometer set for 157 degrees. You don't want to go over 157 degrees or your pork will dry out, and there's nothing worse than dry pork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in the oven. It's a real gentle heat, 350 degrees. I don't go 375 or 400 because it's going to overcook the outside before the inside gets up to temperature. So 350 degrees is going to be perfect. Just going to just wrap it, cook it real slow and roast it really, really nice so it's perfectly succulent, juicy, and tender as it can be when it comes out of this oven. So let's go ahead and put this in the oven and then we'll move on to rutabagas. Let's talk about the rutabaga. It's one of my all-time favorite root vegetables. I don't think it gets near enough respect because I don't think people really know what to do with it. They just look at this ugly little root vegetable in the produce section and they go, what the hell am I going to do with that? So here we go. What you want to do is cut the end off on both sides so it's stable. Now you want to use a real sharp knife for this because rutabagas, they're very, very hard. But you're going to take a standard potato peeler and just get all this peel off. Just like this. Now the peel has got a waxy coating on the outside, and that's just to protect the vegetable itself. But as you can see, just a good potato peeler works real good with getting the skin off. Also, a good potato peeler works real good at getting the skin off of, say, like a butternut squash or something like that. You want to cut it in half, and then cut it in sections. Now you want your pieces to be about the same size so they'll cook all about the same time. So that little piece and that little piece will cook together over here. And then we'll just cut this in about the same size pieces and just go in chunks like this. Now I'm just going to continue cutting this into bite-sized pieces and we'll get it over here and I'll show you the next step. Okay, now we're going to start our rutabagas. And what I've got here is 1 onion and about 4 cloves of garlic that I've diced on up. And I'm going to take and throw this into my pan, and I'm going to sweat it down. I'm not looking for any color on this, just to sweat the vegetables out. Now, there's thyme in the pork loin, so we're going to take and put just a little bit of thyme in our rutabagas. And since I'm sweating this down, I'm not going to crush the thyme. I'm just going to throw in a teaspoon, just like that. I can't cook a vegetable without some kind of smoked meat. It's just the way that Mama always done it, and I guess the way I'll continue to do it. So, instead of ham hocks, because ham hocks weren't on sale today, I got these beautiful creatures. These are smoked neck bones. Don't be disgusted by these. These are awesome. It's a nice smoky flavor. It's going to give great flavor to our rutabagas. Now, rutabagas is not something that you can take and cook quickly. It's going to take a long time for these to really soften up, absorb all that flavor, and get to where you really, really want them. You don't want them falling apart, but you don't want them crunchy and tough either. You want them good and soft without falling apart. Rutabaga is not like a potato. It's going to take a whole lot longer to cook than a potato. Alright, my onions sweated down really good. About halfway through the sweating, I went ahead and added 3 of those neck bones in. If you've got 2 good-sized ham hocks, you can put those in too. Or if you want to make this strictly vegetarian, you can leave out the ham hocks and cook it in a vegetable stock instead of the chicken stock that I'm using, and make it a total vegetarian dish. But I just think the way I roll, so I've got my chicken stock. Now, if you want the recipe for this chicken stock, you can look at the video on Real Cooking at Home on YouTube, and I'll show you how to make this wonderful liquid gold chicken stock. Just like that. But what I want to do is taste my stock right now and my cooking liquid for season. We need to add salt. Season it up real good, just a little bit. About a tablespoon. We'll go ahead and add some fresh cracked black pepper. Give that a stir and taste it one more time. Because if your cooking liquid don't taste like anything, your rutabagas aren't going to taste like anything. Rutabagas are very sweet, almost tangy, if you've never had them. So let's give this a quick taste again. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Now, I'm going to add my rutabagas. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. And I'll probably add about a cup of water into it and then taste it again, because it's not enough stock really to completely cover this, but it's enough stock to give it the really good flavor that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put another cup of water in this, bring it up to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and just let it go really low and slow until my rutabagas are perfect. And I'll show you what those look like whenever it's time. Okay, our rutabagas have cooked for about an hour. They're fork tender. I've got some plated up here and I'm about to taste them. And I've let my pork rest for 20 minutes after it came out of the oven. So we're about ready to slice into this. Everything is so juicy. Now, do you see what I'm talking about? That skin. The skin that I said I wouldn't pick off of it. Look at that. That is perfect. It's fat. That's what it is. It's not skin. It's so good. Now, this pork is so moist and so tender. Just put a piece of it right here on the plate. And the juice, look, I've let it rest for 20 minutes and the juices are still running out. That is absolutely perfect. So, rutabaga. So hot. The rutabaga is sweet. And I said a while ago it was tangy. It's the wrong word. It's earthy. So good. Now let's try this pork tenderloin. Y'all, it takes nothing to make delicious food simply. Just the salt, pepper, thyme, and garlic powder is absolutely perfect on this. It makes a great meal. Left over the next day, it makes a perfect sandwich. So try that simple recipe for pork tenderloin. And go buy yourself a rutabaga. Don't be scared of it. So until next time, y'all, just get in the kitchen and cook. See you next time.